Okay, it's
Yes.
been a couple of weeks, no, days
Days.
since we recorded an episode. I feel like several things happened.
Yeah.
I think maybe we could do recount what kind of happened just in like life events, and then we could talk about our conversation that we had yesterday morning about reconciliation and what that looks like, and maybe unpack some of the things that we went through, not giving out like super details.
Yes.
um, and just teasing out some principles that I think that we can learn from and to reflect on. Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
Um, so I can start us off with like taco. So uh, our cat over there is just chilling, and we got her vaccinated. And I mean, I just didn't think that I would like a cat so much
Yeah.
in my life,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
How has it been for you having?
I can see that, huh? It's been good, but I think it's been good and sweet because I was with you. I don't imagine myself doing that on my own. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest reasons I liked her was because I saw how happy she made you.
Oh,
Yeah. And I remember you'd be like, ah, she's fine. Like, I'm okay. Like, when we're in, like, kind of deciding, like, should we now? I was like, are you sure? And you're like, yeah, I'm totally fine. And then 10 minutes later, I see you, Taco. I think it's one of my first times seeing you like care for like an animal. So in a way, I think it kind of touches the like parental like family bond for me. And I was like, it was just like really lovely seeing that. And I was like, oh, I think it could be a fun experience doing that together. And so I think your love for her and then your like joy was big. And then I think you helped me get through the whole like, you know, little accidents.
yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And you'd be like, always step in and be like, I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And
The
so
poops.
the poops and the throw ups and the, I remember in the beginning, I was like, I can't touch it. I can't do anything. But she really grew on me, and she's really cuddly and calm and cute. And it's the best feeling when she like snuggles up to me when I'm sitting or like laying down or working.
Yeah.
And she's just like there.
Yeah.
And so
That's so cute.
yeah. What about you? What have you been surprised by or enjoying?
I think for Taco, it's very, I mean, everything that you shared, I didn't think that I would be so happy. Well, happiness is probably not the right word, but brings me, I guess, happiness, but not like exuberance.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, she's there.
Yeah.
And then I think like when we're eating or like when we're just like doing our things, like she's just kind of like walking around and we just like make fun of her. I feel like that is just like, I think that part is more fun.
Like earlier I was petting her and she was like having such a good time. She was like foaming at the mouth and like drooling. We just kept laughing at her.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
She was like,
She's like drooling.
like then, foaming. And then like,
and then when she stopped, she's like,
yeah, she like wakes up and she's like, and we're like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah. So you've been sharing like, oh, it's been like bringing a little more like cuteness and laughter than you thought.
Yeah. And I think it's part of me learning to enjoy life, because I don't think I would have ever even consider getting a pet, because life doesn't have room for pets. You know, you gotta, like, there's bills to pay, there's work to be done, there's like so many things to do,
to be at home.
Yeah, and to take care of another animal when you have so much to take care of just did not make sense to me. And so, you know, I think, hello, Taco.
Hi, baby.
Let's see if I could. Taco, come here. No, don't run away. Oh,
she had her first vaccination. So you want me to hold it?
Come here, Taco.
Come on, you feature.
Taco,
Hi.
you want to say anything to the microphone? saying nope. Okay, all right.
I went through a lot today.
Yeah, and I think it's part of my learning to like slow down and smell the roses. And I feel like I've been really learning how to do that in this season of life where I mean, this is the first summer break where like I didn't work. Like work on a project or trying to start a business or something like that. Like it's the first summer where I'm just like, I'm just gonna enjoy it and just spend it just resting. And I think it's really possible with you. I don't think I could have done it alone, really. Like, because I've tried, to do it alone. But just having somebody there to enjoy things with and to do life with, I think is what makes it so not only enjoyable, but for me possible, right? So I think tacos was part of that like equation. And I don't know if this is the Holy Spirit or God. And I think when taco came into my life and into our lives, I felt like he was saying, like she is like a representation or a reminder just to slow down a little bit and to like take the time to take care of something that's not work related, not business related or things like that. So yeah, taco feels like just another reminder to enjoy life and slow down. Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah. That I completely resonate with that. I love what you said, like God-given gift and creation to help us just laugh and enjoy life. And I love that the summer you got to kind of smell the roses and just enjoy the time.
Yeah.
And rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, and enjoyment is so real and it's so expensive.
Yeah. It's nice that we could like complain together. Like we could be like,
and everything that happens is Taco's fault.
Yeah.
Taco. She's just like
her tail, she's like, give me pets right now. She's like rubbing all over her legs right now. Yeah, but I love that, like to be. I think she kind of is a model of like how God loves us. It's just like we just live and breathe and kind of exist.
Yeah.
You just be, right? But you're just like safe and you're like cared for. Yeah.
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 I don't know if I love Taco, but she's nice.
She's cute. Yeah, she's cute. Yeah.
So I feel like Taco is like a pretty big update. I think I did want to reflect on our conversation yesterday morning. And because I feel like there's some really like important things, I think, when it comes to reconciliation and processing. And maybe kind of like, I think saying it out loud. I mean, I'm an external processor, so I think it is helpful. So maybe I can kind of start and then you can just kind of interject or add whenever you want. So I guess the script of what usually happens was similar, right? There might be some miscommunication or like something would trigger me, so on and so forth, or my trigger would trigger you or your trigger would trigger me, and it just like becomes a vicious cycle. I guess it's not like vicious, but it does become like, if it's not addressed, it can continue to go down and down and down. And thankfully, it's never gotten really bad.
Like the cycle we learned about in the counseling thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely never experienced the viciousness of it yet, which hopefully we don't ever, because we can kind of catch it, in the midway or at its beginning stages. So I think I want to reflect on that. And so I think it was about time for me. I think time was a very important thing. And I remember during the marriage seminar that we went to, like they had the initial like questions just for jokes. But I really do think that every single one of those is funny because it's very contentious for both people.
Both people, yeah.
And I think like it can be a point of real contention for couples. And so I remember like the late thing, right? And so for me, being on time,
Yes.
for me, being on time is really important. And I know it's important to you too. It's just we just had different experiences growing up with it. So getting on the same page was really important. And I think regardless of the actual like the trigger itself, I think the response is what's most important, right? So the trigger could be a number of things, right? So I think in the beginning, I was triggered, and then like maybe one of my responses is to withdraw, right? And to start being cold. And we call it Elsa.
Yeah.
And then we just if you see me, it's just like that song is playing and the winter has come.
And I'm on a, do you want to feel the snow? You're like, no.
Actually, no, you're not.
I'm also Elsa.
Well, I think you're not. Maybe you're not Elsa. You're like
Olaf?
I don't know about Olaf, but
What would you say? Yeah, you describe.
I don't. Oh, well, you're just Sensodyne. I think you're Sensodyne. I'm Elsa.
Elsa. Okay, that's true.
So I think that's like a.
That's a pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's just. I think
Yeah.
And so I think so. I reconciled, or I tried to reconcile with you. So I made breakfast. Left a little note, and one of the things that we try to do is we always try to honor the olive branch. And so when that happened, I think you started feeling a little better. And then I started feeling a little better because we were going towards reconciliation. And I think you were working that day, so we couldn't like actually sit down and have a conversation just yet. And so I think that night, because we had to go drive somewhere to exchange something, we were talking, and then I was like listening and asking questions and actively listening and empathizing, that thing, right? And then after that happened, it was my turn to share, and then I shared, and then I felt like there was another point of miscommunication at that point. And then from that point on, so usually it resolves. So like usually after the first conversation or the reconciliation, the first reconciliation, or the act of extending the olive branch, we had the conversation, and it usually resolves by then. The conversation could go a while, but it usually resolves after one. And if we need to touch base after that conversation, we do. And though it never was like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation, and then it doesn't go as well as it was intended, and then now it became another point of distance between us, and then so that was, I felt like, a little bit new. And then from then on, the next day you made me breakfast, and then wrote like a sweet letter to me, and so that was your olive branch, which I really appreciated. And then that was another point of reconciliation, and then we didn't have time to talk about it. And so yesterday morning was finally the time that we had to talk about it. But after your olive branch, I think I was feeling better already. And so, yeah, I think just being able to like have those conversations, and then that Saturday morning, we were able to really kind of flesh out like what happened. And so, yeah, before we go into like what we learned, Is there anything that I'm missing in this picture?
No, I think that was like a relative timeline.
Yeah. So from that point on, we started having that conversation. And I think some of the most important things that I think we gleaned from that conversation was, I guess ultimately it was how to listen, not necessarily well, but listen in a way that makes me feel heard, seen, known, and loved, right? And obviously it has to go towards you. And I was under the impression where I was like, oh, I feel like I'm doing somewhat of an okay job. Definitely through that conversation, I learned though, right? And so I kind of wanted to break that piece down. So before I start kind of breaking that piece down, because I've been talking a little while, is there anything that you want to start us off with? And if not, that's completely okay. I can just start us off.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with keep talking.
Yeah, no, I think you should
Just
lead
keep
it.
going? Okay. Okay, so I think the word listening is very misleading. Because when you think about listening, it could mean so many things. Like, for example, like I'm literally just listening to music. Like as you are working, you're listening to music, but you don't really listen to the lyrics or even focusing on what's coming. You just kind of let it become background noise. And that's technically what listening is. But also when I'm talking and I'm processing what you're saying, that's also listening, right? Like I'm hearing the words, but also like empathizing with somebody and witnessing somebody, all that stuff is also considered listening. And so I think in the beginning of maybe our relationship, it was kind of like, I think maybe I asked like, hey, let's listen well to one another. But I just feel like that word listen is so vague and it really needs specificity and like refinement when it comes to resolving and reconciliation with your spouse, right? Anything else you want to add on to that before?
I was thinking like maybe I would say like I think you're pointing to the word like communicating. Like we're learning how to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that could also not involve like encompass everything. But it's like, how do you speak? How do you listen? How do you empathize? How do you, even like body language, tone,
Yeah.
the word choice of words. I think that all is like communicating, but not just communicating words, but like hidden messages and feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, you're so right. I think communication is probably a better accurate word for it. And also communication itself, like nothing against those who major in communication. And it's also like a very broad topic. But I do like communication because it's like both ways,
Yeah,
right?
I feel like it doesn't completely encompass what I think you're trying to like describe, but maybe it catches a little more than listening.
Yeah. I think we might need to come up with like a better word for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, I think like you said, like tone matters, your body language matters, your physical presence matters a lot. So I think there's like, yeah, so many things, I think. I guess we can just touch upon what we focused on in our last conversation, which I think was, I think, pretty notable things. So like the first thing was, I I think physical presence, maybe let's talk about that first. I think like physical presence, number one, like you have to be facing the other person. And I know that there are times, I mean, even with me, like sometimes I'll like fidget or, you know, like play with something. Like you don't want to be doing that, especially when you're having a very serious conversation with somebody. Like you want to, like, I know we're kind of like sitting like this, but like you want to be facing that person. But there are times when we just like lay on our bed and then just kind of talk.
Yeah.
But even that time, we're like facing toward
You're not on
each
your
other.
phone.
Yeah.
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 We're making eye contact
Yeah.
or like at least turning towards each other.
Yeah. So I think that body orientation is very important. I think second is like physical, like hand holding.
Like affection.
Yeah. Or like kind of like kind of touching, you know, different like maybe like rubbing your back or things like that. Just as a way of comfort seems to be very important. And not just, and I realized not just me to you, but you to me as well. Because I think guys like, I don't really need touch. But I think yesterday's conversation revealed to me like, no, actually that's very important. Like your physical presence and physical touch. Like I think you just placed your hand on my arm. I think that was it, right? I think that seems to be like very important, right? And I think if I could also step back forward, like initially when you're reconciling with somebody and you extend that olive branch, I think physical like affection, whether it's a hug or whether it's a kiss, seems to be very important.
Like thaws a little bit the air.
It does. Yeah. Elsa becomes
The heart becomes warm again.
yeah, it becomes warmer, right?
That's true, warmer.
Yeah, because I think you need to ultimately have the conversation to become warm, but it definitely starts thawing, right? So yeah, I didn't realize just how much physical presence and physical affection matters.
Yeah.
And it's not like maybe it's different for other couples,
Yeah.
but I think for us,
Like naturally happens.
yeah,
Like olive branch, and then I feel like we almost always do a hug after.
yeah,
Yeah. We're just kind of quiet, but we just hug.
and say I'm sorry or I love you, and you know,
I don't know why that made me teary.
you always do.
Oh my god. I don't know why. Okay, anyways.
What do you think it make you teary
I
eyed?
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that physical affection accompanied by words, I think is important. And I think, you know, I wrote something about this recently where the reaching out is like so hard. You know, it feels like a light years away sometimes. Actually, that's a little bit of exaggeration. I don't think it feels like a light year away, but it's like to reach out first and to hold the hand could be challenging. And so I think being able to not only just hold your hand, but also embrace you, I think definitely is a big step towards thawing. So I guess the physical presence begins even before the conversation, right? Even as you're walking, we're like holding hands. And I guess that's why, I mean, like when we're walking or even when we're at church or when we're driving, like I'm always holding your hand, right? And I think now I do it because it's like it's comforting. Unconsciously, you have trained me.
I have sensitized you.
You have sensitized me, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I remember before when we dated, you're like, I don't think I particularly like don't dislike it, but I
no,
don't particularly need it. I remember you'd be
exactly.
like, that's kind of foreign. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
guess like kissing or like
Mm,
hug, but
mm.
not all the time. It's not necessary. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah. I have
yeah.
convinced you.
And now I think I often reach out
Mm.
and hold your hand.
Mm.
And
I like it.
I know you do. And I honestly think that I reach out for your hand way more than you reach out for my hand.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I feel like it was like 90-10 before,
Mm,
right? Because
mm,
like when we walk and stuff, I'd always like
mm,
hold on to your arm or
mm,
something. But I feel like lately it's been a little like not probably 90, but
mm.
like it has been, I feel like more like I've been noticing more and more times where you're like, oh,
Yeah,
hold my hand. And that's
yeah,
like kind of like when I was feeling like, oh, I kind of want, and then my baby reached out, I was like, oh,
yeah,
and I like it.
yeah. I know my baby like it.
Yeah, I feel like pursuing you. You like desire it. It's
Yeah,
different when I'm like hold my hand and
yeah,
you're like, oh, I want to hold your hand. Then
yeah,
it's nice.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like so. Now it's very comforting. Even at church, I just like, especially when we're like listening to sermons and stuff.
Mm.
When God speaks now, He not only just speaks to me, but He speaks to us,
Yeah.
right, as a couple. And so I think just holding your hand allows me to receive the word as a unified, or at least couples on the road to unification, couple. And also it's like good opportunity for me to pray for you. So as I'm listening to sermons, like I am like, when I hold your hand, I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, thank you for my wife. Continue to work in her, continue to bless her. So but anyways, that's
Yeah.
all kind of a side point for physical presence when it comes to reconciliation. So I think that, well, maybe, so it's like reconciliation, physical presence happens even before the reconciliation is necessary. So like when you get into the habit of just holding your spouse's hand, or when I get used to holding your hand, and when I don't, it feels something's a little bit off. It's almost like in a house, like there's a picture and it's like a little crooked.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You're like
it's
wearing socks
crooked.
without shoes. Like
Yeah,
something's
something's
missing and
missing.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, something's awkward. And I don't think that means like dependence, like in an unhealthy way,
Like you
because
can't breathe and walk.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
because we got like independent lives. But I think that daily and moment to moment, like point of connection, I think makes it more natural to just hug and, things like that when we reconcile. Anything else you want to add to that?
Well, like a small point and like affirmation I wanted to share about the physical touch and like holding hands during like service is like today, like I felt like spirit of like insecurity and some like guilt and like feeling like ashamed and like just like I felt like I had like bad faith for some reason and like overcame me. And then I think just spirit kind of like I prayed to God and then I felt like, oh, I think because they're saying like, hey, go pray to somebody or like, and I was like, God placed on my heart, like maybe, I mean, I'm holding hands, I'm right standing next to the person who's like on my team for life. I was like, who else more could I depend and be vulnerable with? And I think because you've cultivated such a secure like marriage, I was like, oh, like, and then I leaned to you and you're like, can you pray for me? And I think when you prayed for me, just that burden and that like residual like heaviness and like sadness I was carrying was like relieved. And I think I like experienced today, like I think that's the power of marriage and faith together. Like we're like two, but we're one. So you helped me carry that burden today and lift it, and like your prayer. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I appreciate your humility and being vulnerable to ask and to share about shame and about insecurity. So I think that takes courage as well. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think even those things, I think that physical presence of holding hands,
Yeah, like holding me.
yeah, holding you, yeah, seems like a very important thing
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so even when we're having conversations that could potentially be very difficult, and we are holding each other's hand, or like, because I remember at one point in the conversation, like you withdrew your hand, and I felt very like, how do I feel? I guess sad, kind of like,
I remember you mentioned like rejected.
yeah, rejected.
Yeah.
Kind of bracing myself, I think, for what's to come, or like what's wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just that physical presence and touch seems very important when it comes to that. I have another thing, but anything else you want to add on to?
No.
Okay. So I think another thing is specific thing was we talked about how important it is when the other person is sharing to kind of like nod and like say and I like to throw in there like that makes sense. And I don't necessarily think that like it makes sense in the sense of like, is it factually correct or is it the best thing? It's more like, oh, it makes sense because from your perspective, from what you understand and where you're seeing it,
I can see that.
I can see that could be true, right? Now, is that true? Well, that's another conversation, but I could see it being true, right? So I think that phrase, along with like kind of like the nodding and the kind of gives me safety. Like it communicates safety. Says, oh, you could keep going.
I could keep sharing.
Yeah, I could
It's
keep
safe.
sharing. Yeah, it's safe. It's safe. You're not being judged. And I think when it's silent, or the other person's like look changes when I share, not you particularly. And there's been other people. There's a point where I share and I just know it's like they're triggered at this point, and what they're gonna share after I'm done sharing is gonna be defensive or to try to protect themselves, which is normal. And I know that that's what's gonna happen. And so I think one of the things that we talked about was, hey, it doesn't have to be correct. And being able to say, hey, that makes sense. And then just kind of nodding and saying, seems to be very important when it comes to these types of conversations. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Anything you want to add? If not, that's okay. Okay. Yeah. So we cover physical presence, and I think kind of like nodding, and that makes sense.
I think questions for me, like when the expectation that it's the other person's time to share, because I think I grew up with experience. There's a lot of like back and forth, and we have to kind of you just go back and forth in talking and communicating and like during those kind of conversations. But I think you've modeled a way where one person listens, one person shares. And I think when we do that though, I'm like, oh, like, what do you think? Like that question.
Oh, yeah.
I think the other person, it's not actual like, what do you think? It's more like I feel like vulnerable. I feel like maybe I overspoke, and I'm not asking really what you think, but I just want to hear that you're still with me and like I'm okay. Like I can kind of just like affirmation, I guess.
Yeah.
And then of like, oh, like you can tell me what you think while I'm sharing, but those are not really saying like, oh, give me your opinion now. It's like, can you listen and affirm even more? Kind of. So I
Yeah.
think kind of reading between the lines in that sense, I think that was a big one for me that I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I think I can share this is because like I would share because after you share, like I would share, and then when I'm sharing, I would share like, what are your thoughts? And I had that question backfire many times. And now I'm learning it's not really I'm asking what are your thoughts, because I think when people hear that, I think they go to a solution or
Like
factual
yeah,
things, logical rather than empathy. And so there's been moments like when you would share and then you'd ask me, oh, what are your thoughts? I affirm that. It's like, hey, like, thank you for asking that question. And I could also feel that you're feeling X, Y, and Z. Tell me more about this. Or
you turn it back.
yeah, turn it back to you. And so I think what are your thoughts is a signal for people because they feel like they've shared a lot,
Yeah.
and kind of asking, hey, am I safe still? Is this causing you to feel uncomfortable? Right? I think it's just asking for another signal of safety. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That when you're sharing, like you just need
It's like affirmation. It's not really asking like, what do you logically think about this?
exactly.
Yeah. Like break it down. It's,
Yeah. That's very interesting. I'm realizing as we're talking that as you're sharing or talking about very, it could be difficult conversation. I think that signal of safety in a very consistent manner, whether it's physical or whether it's tonal, it's like very important.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I like that what you said. Secure like signal. Oh.
Yeah. That
Signal for security.
yeah, that what I'm sharing is not crazy, that you're not judging me
Yeah.
or
You still like me.
yeah, you still like me, kind of like checking.
Yeah.
Seems to be very important. And yeah, I think to clarify the goal of these conversations, like we talked about, was ultimately the goal of these conversations in the beginning is really not about getting the facts right. It's about being seen, known, and loved, right? And helping somebody to process and understand what they're feeling, because often I don't even know what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And then I have to externally process. And I think that the thing that's difficult about the difference between you and a therapist is that therapist is a third party looking in. And when I share these things, the thing that's very difficult is that it could be directed or it could be received as a personal statement against your character and those things, right? And we also talked about like just like bracing and just kind of pushing aside those thoughts. But that's, I think, another conversation.
Yeah.
But I think that physical affection and that like nodding and that makes sense are signals of safety for the other person to continue. And the question of what do you think is really not what do you think, and is a signal for, hey, affirm, acknowledge, empathize with me and help me to process by asking some probing questions so that I can get a better clarity and understanding of how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a bunch of other things I think that we think about, but I feel like these things are some of the important like things that we teased out.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Those are the ones I think yesterday we were like, the other stuff was more like brush up stuff, like feelings first, then logistics after. Like we've been doing that for a couple years. Where like even if you reach a conclusion, if the feelings you hold the resentment. So feelings first. I think those things we've always like practiced. But yesterday, I think that touch thing, we knew about it, but we kind of like tone down on it, like hone
Yeah.
down, like, oh no, like make it consistent. And then the affirmation, the questions, yeah, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's so many more things to talk about, but I'm like, man, I feel like I talk so much.
You
But it
did
is,
wonderful. You
yeah,
summarized everything really
yeah,
well.
and I think I'm just like tired. I'm like,
Yesterday, I think we talked for like hour and a half.
yeah,
Just like all this.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it was so good.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, man, I'm so glad that we're having these conversations, and it's like it's very funny because we play League of Legends, and every time we play League of Legends, like we would do the thing and then we will reflect
Oh yeah.
on like our play.
I
It's
like
like
that analogy.
what happened, you know, what
Yeah.
do you know?
You hide in the bush
Yeah, you hide in
faster,
the bush,
and then you pull faster,
yeah, pull
and
ward
then you
right
do
there.
your ultimate
Yeah,
attack.
in that moment when you do your ulti, I'll do my ulti.
Yeah, but
like,
our health has to be good.
yeah, so there's like a bunch of things that we end up reflecting on, and I feel like we do that often. It's almost like we do the feelings, and then we do the logistics, and then we do the reflecting
Yeah.
on like, hey, what happened? Play by play. Let's think through it. Like, okay, when you said that, what you mean? But you can't have that conversation until the feelings have been addressed.
Yeah.
It's only when the feelings have been addressed and you guys both feel good
Yeah.
and feel safe with one another.
Yeah.
Then you can go into the conversation of like, okay,
Yeah.
when you said that, like, what was going through your mind?
Yeah.
More like acute details, I think.
Yeah, like a good example is like when I'm like, oh man, I wasn't on my A plus like streak today.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do all the maneuvers I wanted. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, you did good. You did great.
Yeah.
And so you're like acknowledging my feelings. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dang it, like man, I sucked this round. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, like you did good. Like you're
Yeah.
acknowledging my feelings.
Yeah.
But let's say you jumped into like, oh yeah, you should have pulled like 2 seconds faster and stuff. Then I would be like all hurt.
Yeah.
It could become a fighting thing.
Yeah,
like,
no,
why
totally.
are you like,
Yeah.
judging my,
Yeah.
But when we do that and then we plan together, we get excited. And then we're like,
Exactly.
next one. Because we like heat each other up. We're like, we can do it.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a better plan.
yeah.
So I feel like it snowballs like better effect.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Addressing the feelings.
Yeah.
And we also talked about how like if you talk about logistics without the underlying feelings addressed, then the logistics become so weird.
Yeah.
Like you just can't
Oh yeah,
you can't do logistics.
Oh, we said the logistic is just a fight. It's not
Yeah.
an actual kind of like the lady with the cat,
Is it?
the cat box.
The cat-
Okay,
oh,
maybe we
yeah,
don't talk
whatever.
about it. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
but like if it was like it would be like no, like you do all the dishes. It's not
Yeah.
actually like wanting to discuss
Yeah.
like who does the dishes. It's just spite. Like
Yeah.
you do the dishes, I'm just gonna do trash or something like that. Not that we ever
Exactly.
talked about it like
Yeah.
that, but I think that's what it could look like.
Yeah.
And then you're like fine. I'm like fine, we're good then. And then we walk away. Then what?
Yeah. Like we're both like feeling worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now the logistics, it doesn't even make
Makes
sense
sense.
because it's like not even
It's all
optimal.
feelings.
Yeah, it's all feelings and it's like spiting the other person. And so when you're doing the thing,
You're like all
you feel
mad.
resentment
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah,
and
or if they're not doing it, they're like,
yeah,
oh, you're
yeah,
not
oh
doing
yeah,
it.
and
Or
then
if
it becomes ammo and just like
But I feel like we haven't done that
no,
before.
not yet.
Yeah.
Thankfully, by the
Yeah.
grace of
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't.
That's why
ever
we're
get there.
bandaging and packing, like preventing. I think we're doing like prevention
Yeah,
care
we're
because
so-
I think we're both so afraid of maybe childhood trauma. We're like, our marriage, our family, we cannot get there because we
Yeah.
know that when you get there,
Yeah.
it's so hard. I feel like to get out, and God can redeem everything. But I feel like because we grew up with some
Yeah.
interesting experiences, we're both
Yeah.
like, we gotta do something different. We
Yeah.
gotta cultivate something different.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it really scares me.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, my love for you drives me, my love for God drives me, but also the fear of what would happen if we
Yeah.
don't go through this process scares me even more.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about like, I mean, you love kisses and like I love kissing you and like it makes you feel so much better if you get kisses. And there could be a point where it becomes so bad where my kisses don't even work.
Oh yeah.
That I think,
Be scary.
oh my gosh, like that. I'm sure. Okay, if that day comes, because like it's just like, I don't know,
Like
like
hormones or
hormones or
something.
whatever. I think that's fine. But because I've broken your trust, or we never reconciled, or like we just kept like pushing stuff under the rug over and over again, where we don't process things together, and it comes to a point where you feel that way, oh my gosh, that would feel, I think that would be that, I think that's like my biggest nightmare. Like that's my biggest fear, that it would, like, you'd be hardened to my affection, right? And so I think we are very much about the preventative care. It's like, wow, it will never.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
no,
yeah,
we're like goalkeepers.
yeah,
Like, no.
yeah. And I think like the reason why the olive branch thing works also, it's because yes, is we want to reconcile because Christ loves us, but also the fear. I think for me, the fear
Yeah.
of, well, what's the other option?
Yeah.
Like live like this
Yeah,
forever? Like
yeah.
that's the worst thing.
Isn't it
Or
scary when you get a taste of like, oh, this must be what people living at a distance feels like? Like you'll be
yeah.
under the same roof, but live like we still both worked. We could meet other people and do the act, but like it doesn't really show that we're having a little bit of tension. But at
Yeah.
home, it feels totally different.
Yeah.
But you could still operate. And I was like, I think some people, not all, but
Yeah.
I'm sure some people live like this, and
Yeah.
we've seen people live like
Yeah.
that, like our parents. And
Yeah.
yeah, it scares me.
It really does. It
So yeah,
really
just
is.
to affirm you.
Yeah. I mean, it really is scary. Like that is something that I, yeah, really,
Like the affection piece.
yeah, like that's something that if there's one thing that, yeah, scares me, and I want to do everything in my power to keep our relationship from, would be that, you know. And you know, there's no guarantee in life of anything. And I think, you know, by the grace of God, we continually humble ourselves before him and acknowledge that we need him, and that we're broken, and that we, you know, we need help. You know, we need church, we need God, we need each other to not feel distant, right? I think is all very important. So, okay, anything else you want to share before we end?
That was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's a huge cobweb right there. It looks like a spider that I need
my
to
gosh.
take
Okay.
down. Taco, go and take it down.
Go eat all our spiders, please.
Let's
Pay
bring
for
Taco.
your
Taco,
rent.
come here. Oh no. Okay. All right.